So, welcome to my online webinar, focusing on natural immune support. So, hi, I'm Kat. I live in Dorset. I am a doTERRA wellness advocate, and I am a wife and also a mum of two children who are aged 9 and 11. We live in Dorset, which I have just mentioned, and I love to swim in the sea all year round. I'd love to hear from you guys where you're joining us from in the country and something that you enjoy to do. So pop that in the comments and we can catch up on that at the end. So we've been using doTERRA in our home for 3.5 years now, and it's really been quite a portal for reducing our toxic load, which I didn't even realise we had so much of in our home. So we've been reducing toxins within our healthcare that we use, also in our cleaning, and we also use the oils for cooking. So they're very versatile and they're used many times of the day in our home. I'm hugely passionate about teaching other, mainly ladies, let's face it, to join the doTERRA gang and journey. And just to give you a bit of an insight, I literally had not even used any essential oils 3.5 years ago. And now I love teaching other people how we can implement them into our lives and make healthy swaps. I'm so grateful for my doTERRA community, and I love nothing more than supporting my customers and my growing team of fellow doTERRA wellness advocates. Also really grateful for doTERRA because at the moment, while we're all having to work remotely and work from things like Zoom, actually nothing's really changed in our doTERRA world because this is how we've always worked. And I'm really grateful to have the oils in my home at this time to support both myself and my family in our health and our well-being. So I just thought you could maybe use your pen and paper to sketch out this day by design sheet on the left-hand side, just to keep your brains ticking over whilst I'm talking. So if you just want to block out 3 different sections, your morning, midday and evening, and this is really to try and integrate some of the things that I'm talking about so that they become habits for you. Using the oils, definitely you need to put things into place so that you get the cue that then becomes a pattern, that then becomes a habit. And I think that cues then become routine, and from the routine you get some reward. And for me, the reward has definitely been to have better and upgraded health and well-being within our home. So if you want to just take some time to sketch out 3 blocks on a sheet of paper, and as we're going through, then you can write some of the ideas down at different points of your day, and then it will be a lovely reference for you to have moving forward. Okay, so I just wanted to touch base really, a 5-minute intro into doTERRA. I know some of you have already used doTERRA oils or are using doTERRA oils. Some of you may be completely new. So I just really wanted to give a brief overview of doTERRA. I am running a more in-depth class I'll go through the dates at the end of this session, and that will cover off a little bit more detail on the company. But doTERRA basically are the largest and most transparent essential oil company in the world. So it's really important when we are looking to support our bodies in such a powerful way as using essential oils. We need to make sure we're using the real deal of essential oils. So 3 really cool things about doTERRA is that they are 100% safe and natural. So they are pure extracts from plants that lend amazing health benefits to our bodies. They're safe to use on the whole family, and they have no side effects. Now, one interesting thing is that they're 50 to 70 times stronger than the herb equivalent. So I'm talking specifically about doTERRA here. So 1 drop of doTERRA peppermint oil, which some of you have in your little sample packs from me, is the equivalent to 28 cups of peppermint tea. Now, I was just flabbergasted when I heard that fact because that's incredible, right? So we can start to understand a little bit there, the difference between doTERRA and some other essential oil companies. So it's really easy for companies to create something that smells like peppermint or smells like lavender within a laboratory, and to put that into a bottle and label it as an essential oil. This is obviously much cheaper for them to produce. But what we're looking at in this instance is actually just a fragrance, and it's not any good for your health. It's not going to have the same effects as a pure therapeutic grade essential oil. So there's no regulatory body to essential oils, and labels can pretty much say what they want to say. There's, even if you buy a bottle of oil that says it's 100% pure, it can contain as little as 10% essential oil to have that label on it, and the rest of it would be made up with a filler that might be have fragrance added to it, so it smells as we expect it to. So the thing I love about doTERRA is that they are they're very, very pure. They're completely pure. They're 100% pure essential oils. So everything that's in our bottle of oils is only essential oil. There's nothing else in there. Okay, research actually shows that 80 to 90% of oils on the market are not pure. So that's why I love to use doTERRA, and that's why we see such amazing effects from using doTERRA oils. Okay, so because of this, they are also super effective. The oils get to the root cause of issues in our bodies rather than just treating symptoms. They help to support our body and help it to get to a state of harmony and balance, which we call homeostasis. So that's definitely happened within our home in the last sort of 3.5 years as we've implemented more and more health routines. So essential oils, actually, this is a really interesting image on the slide here of the cell. Essential oils have the ability to permeate a cell membrane. The cell membranes have a lipid layer around the outside of them. And because essential oils are so complex, they're able to do things that other medications cannot necessarily do. So you can see that image of a cell, and essential oils can actually permeate through the cell membrane. I invite you to do a little bit more research on that yourself. The third cool thing about doTERRA is that they are affordable. So we're talking pennies per drop. And once you invest in the quality of a doTERRA oil, often one drop per application is enough. So I feel massive gratitude for having access to these oils in our home right now, because I can reach for them for solution after solution, and I can reach for them. They're at my fingertips. I don't have to go out to the shops, which I'm obviously trying to do, like we all are, as little as possible at the moment. So it's very empowering to have these to hand. So there's 3 ways that we can use doTERRA. The first way is aromatically. So this would be either from doing an inhalation, which we're going to have a little try of now, actually. So when we put some oils into our hands, so I invite you to get your samples, and I'm going to give you some instructions. So if you've got the peppermint and wild orange, just grab both of those bottles. And if you're using the smaller samples, you need to tap 3 little drops into one hand. If you're using the bigger doTERRA bottles, then it's 1 drop. The reason for that is that the sample vials have a much smaller outlet, so you get less oil coming out. So I'd just like you to test out this 1 drop theory that I've just been mentioning. So 1 drop into the palm of your hand. We're going to rub our hands together. And then I'd like you to create a little cup with your hands. Cup your hands towards your nose, but close your eyes and be really careful not to go too close, because the peppermint's very strong. And I want you to take 3 deep inhalations and really focus in on your breath during this. And once you've done that, you can rub the residue on the back of your neck And in a few moments, you're going to notice that's either going to have a cooling or a warming sensation, because peppermint actually helps our body to regulate temperature. So you can see how strong these oils are, these beautiful oils that we're talking about. So when we use an essential oil aromatically, that's one way that we can do it, by doing that inhalation. The other way we can use them aromatically, and I'm hoping you can all see, is I have a diffuser in the background. So when we use an oil in a diffuser, these are cold vapor diffusers. So it's not like in the 90s when we were adding oils to the candle burners. We want to keep the oil in its therapeutic state. So that means keeping it cold, not heating it. So it's a cold vibration that happens within the mechanism of these. So these are releasing the essential oil into the atmosphere. It's a great way to change the mood within your home and to also cleanse the air. So they're an amazing tool to have right now. The second way that we can use doTERRA is topically. So this would be to apply the oil directly to a specific part of our body. So it's more of a targeted response. So might do that if I had some head tension. Now I'd say also 95% of the time you're going to be diluting if you're applying topically, because of the strength of these oils. You want to put a 5 to 10 pea size blob of carrier oil. I like to use the fractionated coconut oil from doTERRA into the palm of your hand, and you're adding 1 drop of essential oil. That might go on the soles of your feet. It might go on an aching part of your, if you've had an aching muscle from doing too much exercise, for example. Or if you had some head tension, you may apply it to your temple area. So that would be how we would use the oils topically. Now, the third way that we can use doTERRA oils, and this is really, really specific to doTERRA because of their testing process that all of the oils go through before they're sent out to customers, because of their purity, we can use some of the oils internally. So how I would use the oils internally is every morning I add citrus oils, or 1 citrus oil, into my water, and I drink that. That's the first oil I use every day. It has a very cleansing effect on our bodies, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a moment. Another way that we can use them internally is by using a veggie cap. So these are empty pill casings, basically. So they're made of a seaweed kind of, not quite sure. Anyway, and you literally take the case apart and then drop the oil in, close it up, and you can take that then as you would any other capsule. And so that's a really great way of really targeting support for your body. So there's those 3 ways, and we can also use the oils internally by adding them into foods as well, and to use them in cooking, which is a really beautiful thing to be able to do. So now I'm going to move on to some of the topics that I wanted to cover off tonight, when we're really thinking about upgrading our immune supports, which we will need to be right now. Okay, so the first is hydration. We really need to be making sure we're drinking enough water to upgrade our health right now. So we want to be drinking 2 to 2.5 liters of water every day. Now, I don't know about you, but I actually really struggle sometimes to drink that much water, because it can get a bit boring, hey? But equally, I don't want to be adding sugary concentrates into my water. So one thing that I love to do is I add a cleansing citrus oil into my water. So we've got an example there in the image of lemon. So lemon oil is the first oil I use every single day. I just put 1 drop of that in a large glass of water, and I drink that throughout the morning. They have very cleansing properties to support our body with cleansing. So internal use of lemon oil naturally cleanses the body, and it also aids digestion. So doTERRA citrus oils are cold pressed from the rind of the fruit. Now, the rind of the fruit is actually alkaline. The flesh of the fruit is acidic. So we can safely drink the lemon oil in our water without worrying about damaging our tooth enamel, which if you have cut up slices of lemon, because the flesh is acidic, it can actually cause damage to your tooth enamel. The main chemical constituents of lemon is limonene, which I invite you all to do a little bit of research on the benefits of that. And lemon is particularly high in limonene. Other citrus oils that are also high in limonene are tangerine, and that's something that I like to swap about. So some mornings I have lemon, some mornings I have tangerine. So this would be a great one to be writing on your AM, on your morning section of your Design Your Day sheet right now, is to add a drop of citrus oil to my water first thing. Okay, we could also add citrus oils into the diffuser, and they all have very uplifting benefits when they're used aromatically in that way. So they smell really fresh, and they just smell of the sunshine, which always makes you feel happier, right? Okay, so we're now going to talk about balancing our emotions. So this is particularly relevant, I think, at the moment, because so many of us are living in a state of uncertainty and perhaps fear. And we need to try and keep a check on that, because actually it has quite a damaging effect on our body when we're stressed and when we're worried. So when we experience stressful situations, the levels of cortisol, which is the stress hormone in our body, actually increases. And cortisol is what helps the body to deal with stress, but really it's there to be used in tiny, for very small fractions of time. So it's the old-fashioned, when we were cavemen and cavewomen, that fight or flight motion. It's what used to the adrenaline gets pumping, and it's what's going to help keep us alive. It's not something that we want to be living with for the whole day long, which unfortunately in this day and age, actually, even before the current situation and current place that we find ourselves, it's such a relevant and such a common thing that I hear people come to me about, and it's actually something that I've suffered with really badly in the past myself. So cortisol actually can depress the function of the immune system. So it's really important to try and enable yourself with some tools to be able to help cope with this. So one thing I love about the aromatic use of essential oils, so like that inhalation we just did, or by using a diffuser, is that when we smell an essential oil, the compounds of an essential oil are volatile, so they evaporate, and they evaporate up through the sensory receptors in our nose, through the olfactory bulb, and go into the limbic part of our brain. Now, the limbic part of our brain is where we store our long-term memory. It's why you often smell something and it instantly takes you to a moment in time. And it's also where we control and manage our emotions and our behavior. So as well as smelling lovely, the essential oils actually also cause a chemical reaction in our brain and can really shift a mood and shift how we're feeling. So they're a brilliant tool to have for us as women, or as men, or as parents, but also for helping your children through this time. So we often do like a little wild orange inhalation with my children. I think the peppermint is a bit too strong for them, but I certainly would put wild orange and peppermint in the diffuser, and I have a diffuser going pretty much the whole day and the night as well, and I use it to either lift the mood up in our home or lift the mood down. Really, really beneficial thing to have. So essential oils a great tool for helping to cope and for balancing our emotions. So just to give you some ideas here, we've got the peppermint and wild orange, which I hope you all enjoyed that experience. And we've also got another little blend there that I've popped on the slide called Karma. Now, Karma is actually from the kids collection, and it has the soothing properties of lavender, cananga, bodarwood, and Roman chamomile. So probably if I didn't have kids, I wouldn't have invested in the kids oils, but actually I steal this from my kids all of the time because I just love it. You could roll this on your wrist. The lovely thing about this rollerball of Calmer as well is that it's pre-diluted. It's suitable for you to use on anybody from the age of 3 upwards. So it's completely safe. So you can just grab it, you can roll it on your wrist, you can roll it around your neck, you can roll it on your feet before bedtime, and it's just really, really soothing. So that's a lovely one to have. There's another oil as well, which isn't shown on the slide, called Balance. Some of you may have received a sample of that from me, or you may even have it in your collection. Balance is the grounding oil. So this is another one that I reach for during times when I'm feeling a little bit, when I have sort of anxious feelings flowing through my body. Now this is a blend of spruce, hoe wood, frankincense, blue tansy and blue chamomile. And it's very, very grounding. So I like to tap that into the palm of my hands, do that inhalation, rub it over my chest or my back, or you could also apply that to the soles of your feet in the morning just to keep you grounded and steady throughout the day. So there's a few little ideas there. This is an emotions wheel, so it's just really showing you whatever you're feeling. There's a group of oils that's going to help, and sometimes you need more than one group. But particularly the trees and the florals, they're great for this time of how we're possibly all feeling in terms of maybe a bit anxious and a bit fearful and worried. Those are definitely some of the oils that I'm reaching for at the moment. Okay, so we want to also be thinking about being proactive about protecting our immune systems. So I'm talking about being proactive rather than reactive. Now, before I started using doTERRA, my health care was for sure it was a more reactional one. So I would only reach for some support, and this was from like standard medication back then. Once I became poorly, then I would be reaching for whatever medication I needed. Now we live in a much more preventative mindset, and we try to be proactive about keeping our immune system strong, rather than getting to the point where we need to be reactional. So one thing I love, and again this is from the children's collection, the kids collection, is an oil blend called Stronger. Again, this is pre-diluted, so it's safe to use on anyone in the family from the age of 3 up. And it is a blend of cedarwood, litsea, which is a lovely kind of citrus oil, frankincense, which is very grounding and very calming, and rose, which is one of the most expensive oils you can buy. They all have very high vibration, these oils, and they're, as well as being protective, this is also a good blend for soothing emotions. So today, for example, I applied this onto my throat area and my chest area before I had to go out to the shops, just to have an extra layer of protection. I would put that on my children's feet, on my feet, up and down their spine, and it's just great to be able to have that to add into your day by design. So maybe add that into your morning routine. And the other oil that we've got here is an oil called On Guard. So On Guard is one of doTERRA's most popular selling oils. It's a blend of wild orange, cinnamon, eucalyptus, rosemary, and clove. And so it smells like Christmas. Now, it's very strong, and it's what we describe as a hot oil. So my husband and I take this because it's called the protective blend. So it's an oil that's going to help to support our immune systems. So we take 1 drop of that in a small glass of water every day. But if you preferred, because it is quite strong tasting, you could take it in a veggie cap. We also make up a rollable bottle, which you can buy these on Amazon or on a website called essentialoilsupplies.co.uk. They're very inexpensive, and you can add sort of 10 to 20 drops, depending on the age of the person it's for. If it was for a baby, you'd need to be adding more like 3 to 5 drops. Then you top up with fractionated coconut oil, and you can use that on the soles of your feet, on your throat, up and down your spine, or your children's bodies as well. And that's another one to add into your day by design. So first thing in the morning, roll that on the soles of your feet and your children's feet, up and down your spine. If you're going out to the shops or anything, you roll it on your throat and on your chest. Or if you're in contact with people, then I'd be applying that every sort of 3 times a day. Okay, so those two are super. And the other thing about On Guard is that you can actually use it for many other things as well. So it's one that I use to make up my own hand sanitizer and my own hand wash, and also my own multi-purpose cleaning spray, which are all made from natural ingredients. They all cost me pennies to make, and they're all non-toxic, but they're also super powerful because they have very strong cleansing properties to them. So number 3 we're going to talk about is nutrition. So what we put into our bodies really is the building blocks of our health. My children and I, we like to talk about eating the colours of the rainbow. So really trying to get as many fruits and vegetables into our diets as possible. And one way that we do this is we incorporate a smoothie into our day. So either in the morning, or now that they're at home more, then we've been incorporating it by having a smoothie break in the afternoon. And it's something that they really look forward to. So you can really pack in the veggies and pack in the nutrients. There's a recipe there on the left-hand side for you all to take a note of, or take a screenshot of, or a photo. And the other thing about nutrition, so as well as trying to have a balanced and healthy diet, we really want to be trying to reduce our try and reduce your sugar intake, because that's not great for our immune systems, but also think about supplements. So supplements are a really great way to upgrade so many areas of our mind and our body. I like to, I take the doTERRA Lifelong Vitality supplements. So these supplements, I've been taking them since last January, so for a year and a quarter, and they have really made me feel so much better about many areas of my health and well-being. So I've noticed a big difference in my energy levels, a big difference in my skin and hair, the health of that, and also in my mental acuity. But the key thing for me as well is that my moods used to be very up and down throughout the month, and they're now much more balanced. So I think that they've been a great thing for sort of helping to regulate my hormones as well. So you can just see on the left-hand side there that these supplements they're absolutely packed with all of the vitamins and nutrients that we should be getting from our diets. But in the modern day, unfortunately, because our food is so depleted and our soil is so depleted, even if you eat a really healthy diet, you're not going to be getting the correct nutrients that your body needs. So doTERRA they've designed these supplements to work in conjunction with our modern day diets, and they're actually the #1 selling product out of everything in doTERRA, and they come with a 30-day money back guarantee. So if you try them and you don't notice any improvements, you actually can get your money back, which says a lot, I think, about the confidence doTERRA have in them. They don't come too cheap, I'm afraid. They're £72 for a pack, which in theory should last a month, and that would be taking the full dose of 4 of each capsule, 4 of each bottle every day. I actually find that I take half of the dose, and that's fine for me. So I can justify that in my head, because it's half of the dose, £72 lasts for 2 months. So it's just over £1 a day, and they really do have so many benefits for me and the way I feel. I believe that that's worth it. So that's something to think about. And it's just quite interesting looking there at the equivalent price of how much it would cost you to actually add in those nutrients through buying whole foods. Okay, the next I wanted to really cover off is sleep. So sleep is so crucial for keeping us strong and healthy, and it certainly can be a little bit underrated, I think. So when our bodies are asleep, it's when our bodies are repairing. So it's so crucial to our vitality. Our sympathetic nervous system, which controls our fight or flight response that I was talking about earlier, is when that sympathetic nervous system gets a chance to relax and our parasympathetic nervous system kicks in. Levels of cortisol are decreased during the first few hours of sleep as well. So that's something we talked about a little bit earlier. So your immune system releases inflammation when we're fighting. Your immune system releases inflammation-fighting cytokines, which are protein, and these help our bodies to fight inflammation, infection, and trauma. And without enough sleep, our immune systems are not functioning at their best. Okay, so as well as trying to get enough sleep, it's also about the quality of the sleep that we're getting. So I like to try and not be on screens for at least an hour before bed. And a way, if I'm really kind of thinking about it and really concentrating on it, a way that I always have a great sleep is to take a lovely relaxing bath in the evening with some Epsom salts, and I add in a few drops of lavender oil to that. And it's just a great way to relax and unwind and get your body into that nice calm state. Then I always have a diffuser going with lavender. As do my children. They're very lucky they have a diffuser each in their bedroom, and they won't go to sleep without the lavender in the diffuser by their beds. But I love that, and I love how they are, how they reach for the oils, and how they've come to rely on them as well, and as their little mechanisms for coping with their days. And the fact that they have their lavender means that they sleep really well, so they're not interrupting my sleep, so that's another win. So then I may add some lavender to my pillow. So this is where you can write on your evening routine to start incorporating your lavender. And another lovely thing that you can do is to add a couple of drops of lavender to some of the carrier oil that I mentioned earlier, the fractionated coconut oil, and massage that into the soles of your feet, and massage that into your chest area as well. And the Calmer blend that I was mentioning earlier on for helping with emotions, that's a really lovely one that my children use before bedtime, and I often steal it as well, so that's a lovely one to incorporate too. So when I do these things, I find that I actually have such a solid sleep, and I wake up feeling refreshed and ready to go for the next day. Sometimes, you know, I'm human like everybody, so sometimes I have commitments and it means I'm up working late, especially at the moment trying to juggle working with the children being at home. And I can really notice when I've been on my computer until too close to bedtime, and my brain's a bit wired, and I just don't sleep as well, and I don't feel as good the next day. So really would love you guys to be able to try this out, because I think you'll really benefit from it. So those are the things I wanted to cover off. And then now I guess it's just chatting about what's the best way to get started if you're not already a doTERRA customer. So there's two different ways that you can become a customer. You can be a retail customer or a wholesale member. So a wholesale member benefits from a 25% wholesale price on the oils, which is brilliant, and it only costs £24 for a whole year to join. So you can see here, so if we look at cedarwood, for example, you can buy an oil at retail price and it's £16. If you're a wholesale member, it's £12. And if you think about that saving over the cost of a year, it does definitely make it beneficial to be a wholesale member and to pay that £24. So I've put together a little kit for anybody that's ready to get started tonight with the a lot of the immune support oils that I've been talking about. So if you're new to doTERRA, then the kit would be £120, and that would include your wholesale membership, which would normally cost you £24. If you're already a member, it's about £96, and you can just order these items in your back office. New members will also benefit from a £38 credit to be able to spend in May. So that's for orders placed by the 15th of April. So that's a really lovely deal. You'll get a £38 credit to spend in May on any more doTERRA products that you like. And you get all of these lovely things. So it's 5ml size lavender, lemon and peppermint, a 15ml size On Guard, the 10ml size roller bottles of the Calmer and the Stronger blend, and then the fractionated coconut oil. So I've really tried to simplify it down to make it easy for you to get started without overwhelming yourself too much, and to try and make it affordable for you as well at this time. A few extras that I would personally like to throw in for anybody getting started at the moment. You would receive a 5ml wild orange from me, a lovely book, The Essential Oil Basics, an A to Z mini guide. So that's really going to give you a little bit more information on how to use your oils. And also 2 little roller balls, empty roller bottles, so you can make up your own On Guard's protective roller balls as well, or anything else that you fancy popping in there, you could too. Now, it can be a little bit overwhelming, the thought of getting started, but as I mentioned earlier, literally when I started with doTERRA, I knew nothing about essential oils, and I've learnt it along the way, and that's absolutely what I'm here for. So all of my customers get, my new enrolled customers get a one-to-one wellness consultation with me, or with whoever invited you on this call. You also get added to our closed Facebook community groups, and we've got lots of exciting upcoming events coming up soon. So a few extras that you could add on, or if you preferred to just, maybe you're not ready to get all of that kit and you just would like to just get 1 or 2 oils, that's absolutely fine. Just reach out to me and I can get you set up. There's the balance oil there. There's the lovely Brevi diffuser, which at the moment comes with a lovely blend called Citrus Bloom, which is a blend of lots of the gorgeous citrus oils, but also some of the lovely floral oils. So it's a great one for calming and balancing the mood at the moment. It's a really nice one in the diffuser. So that comes for free with that Brevi diffuser this month. And then there's the Lifelong Vitality supplements there as well. So for anybody that's looking to get started, like I said, you get that one-to-one personalized wellness consultation with me, so we can really hone in on what you're looking to achieve with the oils and make sure that you're confident and happy in using them. You get that access to the closed Facebook groups, and you also get continued education and support. Equally, if there's other oils that you think would be more beneficial for you, then I can completely curate your own personalized kit. So just again, reach out, and I'm more than happy to do that for people. So for example, any of our doTERRA community this month and for the next couple of months, we're running some amazing continued education classes. So we're talking about seasonal support, lifelong vitality, really honing in on the details of that, green cleaning, immune support, again, emotions, hormone support, clean skincare, pregnancy, birth and beyond, and then kids and oil. So by joining our community, you get access to an amazing education, which could cost you quite a lot to have to go and find that elsewhere, and certainly take you a long old time to do the research. I've got some additional classes coming up this month. So I've got an intro to essential oils class on the 14th and the 27th of April, which you'd all be very welcome to listen to. We'll be going through a few different oils in that class. I'm also running a class on the doTERRA business opportunity. Now, doTERRA has been an amazing place. I started as a customer and it's grown because my passion for the oils just led me down the path of wanting to share them. And it's been great to supplement my income. doTERRA is a really solid business option right now where the world is pretty uncertain. They have a very strong foundation as a company. They're still owned by their existing founders. They don't have any shareholders, and that's really important because it means that they control the company, they control what oils they want to release, they control how that's managed. And the lovely thing about the work with doTERRA is that it can all be done online, and it can be done around your family or around other commitments. And it's a product that people really want to hear about at the moment. So if you're interested in finding out more about that, then just reply to my email or drop me a line. So here's my contact details. It's Kat Woolner. You've got my email and my phone number there. So maybe take a picture or screenshot that. I will be in touch with you all anyway tomorrow, so that we can catch up and see how you found the webinar and see if there's anything else I can do to help you. So I'm going to stop the share now and just stop the recording. So thank you if you're joining us on the recording.